A word of welcome to those who are new. Could I have a show of hands as to which of you is here for the first time or the first time in a long time? You can't lie to me, you are in the church. And moreover, I know who is new. All who sat down as I was carrying the Bible in procession are new. But we love you and we are glad that you are with us. You're not visitors. You're not seekers. You are family. So most welcome. Who will roll the stone for us? My dear sisters and brothers, this is the question that Mary Magdalene, Mary, the mother of James, and Salome were asking one another. Who will roll the stone away from the tomb entrance for us? A question that we as a human race have been wrestling with from time immemorial. Who will roll away the stone of sickness and illness for us? Who will take away and roll away the stone of disability and handicap for us? And who will roll away the stone of unemployment and joblessness for us? Above all, who will roll away the stone of pain and persecution? Who exactly is it that will roll away the stone of the death of a relationship or a loved one? My dear sisters and brothers, the answer is simple, plain, and direct. The stone, as we heard in the gospel of the day, has already been rolled for us. And you and I are breaking our head over a question that has been answered, a problem that has already been solved. The stone of our difficulty, the stone of our challenges, the stone of our sinfulness, of our brokenness, of our weakness has already been rolled away for us. We heard from the Gospel according to St. Mark. When you go back to the Gospel according to St. Mark, you will find it a little more dramatic. You will see the angel of God coming down and rolling the stone away and sitting on it as if to say, he has overcome it. He is master of death. In a nutshell, this is Easter. That death has died a death. That death has been destroyed. That Christ has risen from the tomb, not just for himself, but for you and for me. For the past few weeks, we have been looking to the cross, into the empty tomb, and feeling the shroud, the cloth that bound the body of Jesus. But today, on this Easter day, God shows us an empty cross, an empty tomb, and an empty shroud. And our God, who shows us this empty cross, empty tomb, and empty shroud, is no God of empty promises. A God who delivers on his promises. A God who keeps his word. A God who does things for us because he is in love with us. I think of another father who was grieving the loss of his son. His grief was so deep and profound that he was going in and out of sanity. I'm referring to our most beloved President Abraham Lincoln. When his son, if I remember correctly, William was his name, died, he was inconsolable. He was like a madman, excuse me for the use of the word, walking up and down all night long. And he was heard saying, If only I could dig open the grave and have my son rise from it. Now, think of another father who actually said to us, I will open your graves and have you rise from it, my people. And then you will know that I am the Lord when I open your graves and have you rise from it, my people. He said it, and he did it. And I'm just saying what he did in the person of Christ for you and for me. When he raised Jesus from the dead, he rolled that stone of sickness and illness away from us. He rolled away the stone of all the problems and challenges we face, and he rolled away the stone of death that seems to destroy us and defeat us time and again, once for all. But the truth is, God says, I have the last word. And I have the last laugh even in the face of death. And God tells us, love is stronger than death. My love for you is stronger than your death. And that is why I open your grave and have you rise from it, my people. My sister and brother, if you are in a dicey spot, sticky situation, if you find that you don't have the heart to move on to another day, will you please remember that the stone has been rolled away? When you have lost hope and do not see the possibility of prosperity for you or a new life, remember the stone has been rolled away, and God gives us a brand new life, a brand new opportunity, His brand new life in Christ. Tell me, which of us doesn't like brand new clothes, or brand new shoes, or ladies, brand new hats? We all like things that are brand new. That is what Easter is about. God giving us a brand new something. Life, grace, opportunity, a future, and eternity. When you think of Easter, you think of renewal, rejuvenation, revitalization. You think of new birth, a rebirth, another opportunity. Green, fresh, new. That is what Easter is about. By the way, when I talk about resurrection and Easter, I'm not merely referring to something that happened to someone 2,000 years ago, a young man from Nazareth, Jesus of Nazareth. No. Because of his passion, death, and resurrection, Easter has come our way. When someone is hurting, and you are there for that person, bringing a little comfort and consolation, Christ is risen in you. When someone lacks clarity and is all confused and in a state of chaos, and you try to open a window of understanding for that individual, Christ is alive in you. When you come across a person who is totally different from you, and you are able to see the face of Christ in that sister, despite the person's background, and recognize a brother in that person, Christ is alive in you. When someone from your family is ill and is hurting, and you are uncertain as to what the future is looking like, and you hold on to hope, believe me, Christ is alive in you. We have 87 pots here, each of them representing one deceased parishioner that we lost since last Easter. I just picked up this flower pot. It reads, Hank Brendel. And there are 86 others. And if you are hurting because you lost your loved ones, and rightly so, your hurt is real and my heart goes out to you. But in between those sobs and tears, if you remember that they are in the arms of God, I believe that Christ is risen in you. On the 8th of May, I'll be completing 35 years of priesthood. It also is the birthday of John Vianney. And when I was ordained, I took this to be my motto, to be a joyful and convincing witness to the resurrection of Christ. Now, that's what you are called to be. That's what every disciple is called to be. That is why every apostle is sent out to do, to be a joyful and convincing witness to Christ. When you look around at your neighborhood, at our cities, our nation, and the nations of the world, and you see confusion, chaos, anarchy, anger, violence, insecurity, anxiety, I hope you will remember that Christ is risen. To conclude, a Brazilian writer, whose name I happily forget now, once said, "In the end, all will be well." And then he adds, if all is not well, it's not the end. I think the person was describing Easter and the risen one in our midst. That's what I want to say to you. All will be well. All will be well. All manner of things will be well because the risen one is in our midst. In the end, to borrow the words of the writer, in the end, all will be well. And if all is not well, don't doubt, don't hesitate, because it's not the end, because Christ is risen and he has conquered it all. Joe of Arimathea was throwing a party for his friends a week after the resurrection of Jesus. And one of his friends turned to him and said, "Joe, I know that you hewed that tomb for yourself and you spent a lot of money, time, and energy into it. How come you gave it away to Jesus of Nazareth?" And without missing a beat, Joe says, "Why not? After all, he needed it only for the weekend." Now that is God having a last laugh. That is God having the last word in the face of death. That is God telling us that death for you and for me too is only for the weekend, because on the third day we will rise again. And so I say to you, Happy Easter, my sister and brother.
Happy Easter.
Christ is risen. Alleluia.
He is risen indeed. Alleluia.
Indeed, he is.